Hi, this is Mike Katz from 7 Points Capital bringing you today's market overview. The market had a sideways day today and we finished the day as a doji on the spiders. So if we zoom in here a little bit today, we can see that today's bar we closed exactly where we opened. We went a little bit higher, we went a little bit lower, and we closed as a doji. So usually that means that the market is getting tired, there's indecision, and no clear cut imbalance as far as longs or shorts, who's in control. But usually you want to see that accompanied with high volume and the significance of that bar will grow. And we can see that today the spiders didn't do a whole lot of volume. So while it is a doji, while we are taking notice, we need to see more volume in order to pay a whole lot of attention to it. So as a whole, the spiders are sitting at all-time highs, near all-time highs. We went a little bit higher and we gapped up, and then we couldn't really put together much of a rally. So right now we're just sideways and we're trying to see the signs for which way the market wants to go next. But overall, it was still pretty strong. What was in play today was oil. You had crude oil pushing up again today, had a big green bar. We went back above $50 and we closed near 51 on the day. And this provided us for a catalyst where some stocks were in play, specifically CHK. Now, what was interesting with CHK was that the whole sector was up. If we look at XLE, we can see that it was up on the day, and oil was up on the day as well. But oil stocks as a whole, they didn't act too well, specifically CHK. And the reason CHK wasn't acting well was, in addition to being in a long-term downtrend and being one of the biggest underperformers in the sector, we can see that this stock was also downgraded today by Jefferies. They said that they have a $2 price target on this. So the stock was trading in the low fours, and they came out with their news. This was around noontime, and the stock went from 415 area, had a sharp drop, retracement, and another big drop, and this provided for some decent short trades for us. I personally was not able to get the drop, the first one, because that happened too fast, and one of the other traders mentioned that the downgrade was there, and that was around this time, and this is where we started getting involved in the low $4 area. And once the move started stalling out, the retracement back up, this gave us a setup on the short side, and we were able to get short, risk very little. And the nice thing about CHK is it's a stock that does a lot of volume. It's a stock that has decent range, so it's not hard to get big and acquire some size and be in and out pretty quickly. So this one closed weak, closed near the lows. This was one that I had in my swing account the week before, but on this green bar, shook me out, and I said, okay, maybe this doesn't want to go down, and exited the position there for a small gain. But today we were basically trading it on the short-term account, being in and out and being opportunistic. So this was a nice trader for us today, where we were able to capitalize the retracements. After the retracements, get involved on the short side. And this one didn't really have too many head fakes. Even the retracements, you could tell that it was getting tired, making clearly a lower high versus the previous high, staying below VWAP the whole time, and every time it would stall out, it was a nice spot to get involved on the short side. The other stock that we were in today was HMNY. This stock has been pretty wild. It's one that has gone from $3 all the way to 28. This company owns MoviePass, which is supposedly reinventing the whole movie-going experience, and they charge $10 a month for unlimited movies. I don't know how they're going to make money, but right now the market seems to really like their business model. It's been disrupting the other players in the space, and this stock has really caught a bid. So me personally, I came in on this parabolic move yesterday, got short some, and was able to make some money on the sell-off, but Didn't cover everything, took some home on the short side, and today the stock gapped up and kept going higher. And there were a couple of spots where I tried to pick a top and see if this thing wanted to reverse, and took some small paper cuts that resulted in some small losses. But that's the name of trading. That's what you got to do. You got to take small losses until you're right, and then catch the big move. So this one I personally didn't do too well in. Tried to pick a top a couple of times and it didn't work out, but I still have it on my watch list. Another big green day, and we're going to try to figure out a spot where this thing can put in a top and retrace. Right now it is clearly extended, but we're looking for signs that are going to tell us, yes, it's done going up and can reverse, and there could be some nice short trades in there. So this one didn't work too well today. And the next one that we have is IZEA. IZEA is a stock that's been on my watch list for quite some time. This was another one, a low floater, cheap stock that had some positive news, some positive PR, and on day one it went from $1 and change all the way to $4, and the next day it gapped up. They have some news. They used the keywords artificial intelligence, and the market loved it, and you were able to see a decent rise and a rally in the stock. But I had this one on my watch list where I wanted to see at some point, this will top out. It was clearly extended at $7-8, but the key was, where do we get involved so that we're not getting run over, so that we're not getting hurt on the short side too much as it's going up, but then be there whenever it does go down. So this was one that showed it was topping out, and this is the move going up, and the best part is to be able to get in on the backside of the move. And I personally got involved yesterday in the stock and also traded it today. So you could see that yesterday right here, this stock was sideways for a few days after gone up and couldn't sustain those higher prices, went down and sideways, and was pretty much below all the volume that traded over this 1 week period. So this one was a good one. We took it home short in the swing versus 650 stop. And then this morning they had some negative news come out where their results and the subscribership wasn't as good as they expected, and the stock gaps down in pre-market, goes down, and sets up for another move down. And looking at this one, there was a bouncing ball set up on the short-term chart, which was very nice, and that provided for an add on the short side and a quick scalp. So the move was right here. If we zoom in, we can see that. Let's zoom in like this. We can see that we have a bouncing ball set up, or a descending triangle, and that's where we have a flat bottom, and every time we rallied, we were rallying for less. It kept getting rejected at lower prices, and just like when you drop a ball, every time it's going to bounce less. Eventually the ball is going to stop bouncing, and that's what we see here in the stock. It went up from 450 to 490, back to 450, and then the best it could do was get up to 470, and this is where I got involved. 470, put a stop here at 495, and I said, okay, if this can't make it back up, then we're going to have to retest the 450 level, and that provided for a nice entry right here, risking a little bit, anticipating that this will wash out, and 470 on the ad made it all the way to low 430s, 420s, covered, and then stayed with the core position back in swing. So this was a good one, and just like HMNY, this was a wild one. It's just a matter of waiting for the right time and not to anticipate too much. Could have done a better job at that myself in HMNY, but that's going to be one of my goals and in my review and my personal trades for tomorrow. So this was today's market recap. We had a few trades in play, and thank you for watching our market overview from 7 Points Capital. Be sure to follow us on Twitter, subscribe, and all comments are welcome. Thank you.